After we have discussed about JDK, JRE, JIT, that is just-in-time compiler, like that. After that, we are moved to the specific portion of the Java, that is the concept of class, concept of object, concept of method, concept of constructor, then specific features, that is method and constructor overloading. And now we are just learning about several keywords of Java that is widely used. That is, first one is this keyword, and second one that we are now learning, that is the static keyword. So this is the brief summary of all the classes that I have delivered to you. So if you have any query from that part, then you can also tell me. Any query?
ম্যাডাম কনস্ট্রাক্টর যদি আরেকবার একটু এক্সপ্লেন করতেন ক্লিয়ার হয়ে যেত। হ্যাঁ
Okay, you are absent in the constructor class right now.
Yes, madam.
Okay, from others. No, look, most of the student, I think, due to electricity and network issue, they are not be able to join this class. So there is a chance for all of us that if you have any doubt regarding the previous class, then you can clear it right now. Someone already asked for constructor, and for anybody, anyone, other any doubts? So this is the
ম্যাম, হ্যালো ম্যাম। ম্যাম, দিস কিওয়ার্ডটা আপনি পড়িয়েছিলেন না, তো ওতে যে সেকেন্ড পয়েন্টটা ছিল ওটা ঠিক বুঝতে পারিনি।
okay. Second uses of this keyword. Next.
Yes ম্যাম।
Next, anyone from other student? Anything from other student? Mithilesh, have you any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So first we will complete these two parts, that is a basic concept of constructor and second uses of this keyword. Later today we will complete the uses of static keyword. Okay. So this will be in this class. In this class, this will be discussed. So let me share the content of constructor first. From the remaining one, do you have any query regarding constructor? In the remaining one? If you have any doubts, then you can tell me. Okay, Shuman. For you, I have just. Are you able to see the screen?
No, madam.
Now it is visible to you?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Now think about that. But constructor is nothing but a special type of method. Okay. We all know that a class have two fields, either the data field or the method field. Whatever the data that you need to store in your class, that will be declared in the data section. And for manipulation on that data, we are using several methods. That means for processing of that data. This is the basic scenario. Now, in case of object-oriented programming, there is a specific type of method that is known as a constructor. What is the distinguishable part of a constructor and method? The first thing is the constructor have the same name of the class name and it doesn't have any return type. These two are the specific features for constructor. The first point you need to remember that constructor is nothing but a special type of method whose class name is similar as the student. Just a minute, I have a phone call. Hello. Okay, students.
Yes, madam.
There is a point where we are describing about the concept of constructor. So the first point is it is a special type of method and the name of this method is similar to the class name. And next one is the constructor doesn't have any return type. These two are the main features for constructor. Now the next point is that why we will use this special type of method basically. Okay, the rule syntax whatever be that why that apart from that why we will use constructor in Java. This is the main question. We'll use constructor in Java or a constructor can be automatically called in Java whenever we are creating object of a class. Whenever we are creating object of a particular class, at the same time a constructor of that class will be automatically called. So irrespective of that you are explicitly creating any constructor or not, it is the fundamental thing that you need to understand that whenever you have just creating any particular object of a class, at that time a constructor will be called. Just go through the syntax of a constructor. Just a minute. Just look at this line. Here main is the class name and we are creating a object name as a obj. After that the equal to sign, then the new keyword. After that we are writing here main, then the first bracket. This is the symbol for constructor. So that whenever you are whether wait you are written down the constructor or not, this in this line you will knowingly or unknowingly you are calling the constructor. Okay. So the constructor will be called for a particular class whenever you are creating the object of that class. Now, what is the importance of that, whether it will be called or not? The thing is that if you want to assign value of this object at the time of initialization of this object, then you can do that part using the help of the constructor. You can do that using the help of the constructor. Okay, how we can do that? So that if the class contain three variable that is x, y, z, okay, and you are creating a object of that class. So each and every object of that class have unique value for the x, y, z. That means separate value for x, y, z. And if you want to assign the value to that class variable that is x, y, z, what you need to do? If you don't use the concept of constructor, you need to write down the line ob.x equal to 10, ob.y equal to 20, ob.z equal to 30 like that. So if there are 100 variables present in a class and you want to assign the value to that variable using object, that means you need to write down 100 lines. It's not possible and at the same time it is not realistic. So you can assign the value to this variable xyz in this constructor bracket. Okay, you can think about that part. If I provide you one, say let me share the screen of the. Just a minute. Virtual lab. You can open it from your PC or whatever the smartphone you are using right now. Just a minute. I need to share this screen with you. The screen is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Suman? Okay. So go through a concept of this. That is, you have a class, say box. Within this box, you have just assigned three variables. That is, height, and you are not assigning any, you are not defining any constructor here. Next, to do, you just create a method that will show you the volume of the box. Of the box. Okay. And you are just calculating the volume of box here and show down the result. This is the simpler talks. We are defining a box. We are defining the variable of that box. That means their box must have some specific height, width, and depth. And after that, we are calling, we are just presenting here one method that will display you the volume of the box. Okay. Now in the main class, this line is not needed. Just remove it. Will happen, see like that. That we need, whenever you want to access this class, we need to create the object of this class. So for that purpose, we need to do box equal to new box. This is the syntax for creating any object. And after that, what you have to do? You have to assign the value of each and every object, each and every member, class member to this object. That means you need to write down xt equal to say 10 dot in 20 dot depth equal to say 30. Then the method that is display. This is the normal scenario to print the volume of a particular box in Java using Java language. Okay, clear what I have just done. I am creating a class that named as a box. Then we are declaring three features of this box. And next we are just displaying or to calculate the volume of the box. Okay, this is the case. Now, after creation the object of this box, we need to assign the value of height, width, and depth. Otherwise, we will not be able to display the volume of this box, because if we don't assign a specific dimension for this variable, then it is there is no utility of this volume here. So just run this program. It will show you the volume of the box. Just look at this volume of the box 6,000. It is okay, it's fine. There is no problem in this program. Now, if I just ask you to create 5 box with specific height, width, and depth, what you need to do? You need to write down this statement 5 times. That means 5 times you need to assign first of all 5 separate object you need to create to make existence of 5 separate box. This is first point. The second point is you need to assign the height, width, and depth of that box 5 times. That means these 3 lines you need to repeat for 5 times. That means there are 15 number of extra line will be append to your code. Okay. Now constructor will help you to remove this problem. How? to remove this writing this line, if you want to remove writing this line, next what you can do, you can declare the constructor here. For that purpose, just write down the constructor. It's nothing but a method, but it doesn't have any return type, and the name of the method is similar with the constructor name. Oh, sorry, class name. Okay. Next, what you have done, you have just declared one constructor. This is the conceptual constructor. Okay. The name of the constructor is same with the class name, and there is no return type of this constructor. Now, what you have to do, you want to assign the value to this object whenever the object will be created. That means you need to pass the value to this box constructor. For that purpose, you need to assign some argument here. That is, we are writing down double H for height, double width for double H for width, and double depth. Now, this is also another restriction in Java. You can't write down here double H, comma, W, comma, D. For each and every variable, you need to declare its type separately. This is also a restriction for constructor. Okay, so after declaring this value, we need to assign this value in your class variable. So that height equal to H, it equal to D, and depth equal to D. Width equal to depth equal to. Okay, now look what happened. At this time, you don't need to write down this line again. This line is not needed here. So if you are just declaring the constructor of this class so that you can pass the value of height, width, and depth here. You don't need to write down or separately assign the value of height, width, and depth using this line or using this instruction. You can do that in a single line. Now I call this program again. Look what happened. Now look at this. The output is same here. This is the utility for constructor. Now if I ask to do the 5 number of object, 1 equal to new box. Mention here any other dimension, that is 20, 40, 50, like that. For each and every object, you need to write down only one line. Just like that. Every object, you need to write down only one statement for assigning the value of the height, width, and depth here. Clear? So after that, you just need to call this display method, ob1.display for the second object. ob2 dot, sorry, okay, for the third object, like that. Okay, then it will provide you the volume for 3 box. You can do it for 10 number of box, for 1000 number of box. There is no problem. Now look at this. Shuman got the point. Why you will use constructor?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Any doubt? Next, you will study what is the concept of constructor overloading. Now, this constructor you can also overload.
Yes.
First of all, try to understand why you will create constructor. Look at this point that if you are doing any Java program, that means automatically there is a constructor. At the very beginning, before knowing the concept of constructor, you are also accessing the constructor. Although you are not passing any value to this constructor, but you are using this constructor. So that if you don't explicitly mention any constructor in your program or not, there will be a existence of constructor. At the time you are creating the object of that class. Okay, now you can utilize this concept according to your needs. So that whenever memory will be allocated for a particular object, the value for the class variable or the instance variable can be assigned at the same time. Now look at this. This line is executing means particular memory will be actually 3 double variable memory is allocated in the memory. 3 double variable space is occupied in the memory. Okay. So at the same time, if you just assign this value, there is no problem like that. You don't need to assign the value of this particular space again or separate it in your program. You can do it in a single line. And if your code has minimum number of instructions, then it will be helpful for debugging other types of, that is error checking, exception handling, like that. So it will be helpful to you or helpful to the programmer also. Okay. So this
Yes,
is
madam.
the
Okay, madam.
concept constructor. Now the second one that I just want to mention you that for this point, so if what happened, if you just write down here as a this is also age, this also width, this is also D. You can do that. But at the same time, compiler will be confused. Instance variable and which one is this argument or this parameter. Okay. What are the parameter value and what are the instance variable value? For that purpose, you need to write down here this keyword. This keyword will help you to invoke the current class instance variable. That means you need to write down here this dot h.
Ma'am, is this the constructor overloading?
No. This is not constructor overloading. Constructor overloading means you are using more than one constructor in this box class, but that constructor have separate signature type. Signature type means the parameter that are declared within this constructor is different. Just like you are creating one constructor that is without any parameter, you are creating a constructor with 3 parameter, you are creating constructor with 1 parameter. Okay, you can do that. And using that concept, you can also create the object. Now it is the concept for the compiler that how compiler will understand that which particular constructor will be called. That purpose, what you need to do? You need to do that. You need to mention the signature type of that constructor. Now, this just a minute. This is the first uses of this keyword. And if you want to do the constructor, just I'm showing you one example of constructor overloading here.
Okay, madam.
Equal to 1. You are assigning the value here right now. 1. Okay. Look at this. We are creating 2 constructor here. Okay. One constructor is without parameter and another constructor is with 3 parameter. And for the first constructor, I have just assigned the value of height, width, and depth for 111. And for the second constructor, since it is a parameterized constructor, we can assign the value to the object at the time the object will be created. Okay, these two are the constructor. Next, what you will do, you need to do you need to call two separate constructor. Look at this. For the first constructor, I am just removing the value. That means it will match with the first one. And we are just removing the second constructor. And we are using two constructor. First constructor is without any parameter, and the second constructor is with parameter, with three value parameter. Okay. Now, if you do that, overloading means, what is the concept of overloading? You are using for method, whenever in a class there are two or three methods with the same name, but the parameter signature is different. Then the process is known as a method overloading. That means we are overloading of a particular method with another method. This is the concept for method overloading, and the same concept can be happen for constructor also, because constructor is also a method. Okay, so for that purpose, if you can do that method overloading as well as the constructor overloading, what is the main activity of it? What is the main utility of it? The main utility of this, whenever you are performing method overloading or constructor overloading, that means you are invoking the concept of polymorphism. Polymorphism mechanics or polymorphism procedure of Java programming language. Polymorphism means one interface, multiple tasks. So look at this. The interface is same here. Interface is same here. That is box. Here it is also an interface, that is box. But the internal activity is different here. If you are using this particular interface, that means a constructor without any parameter, that means every time you are creating a object with this constructor, the volume of the method will be always 1, because multiplication of 1, 1, 1 means 1. Now, if you want to assign a specific value to this height, width, and depth, for that purpose, for that task, you are using the same interface, that is the box constructor. But here the parameter are different. You are assigning the parameter in this constructor, so that at the time the object of this class will be created using this constructor. At that time, you can assign separate value for height, separate value for width, and separate value for depth. These features actually reveals you the concept of polymorphism. But also there are two parts in polymorphism, that is, there is a static and concept of static and dynamic. Now this is the concept for static polymorphism, that is the concept of method overloading. Okay, now look at this, look at the example. What we will do here to run this program. Oh, sorry, you need to change the age. Because we are changing the value of the instance variable, that's why in the print statement you need to change the value of this constructor. Look at this. What is happening here? For the first one, 111 is assigned in.
मैम this dot d होगा ना equal to d.
Yes. Last one is changing here. That's why it's
Yes,
showing
sir. This dot d.
height, width, and d will be here. Okay, that's why the last one is becoming problematic. Now look at this. This is the your example. For the first one, that means it is called without any parameter. That is this box constructor. So the resultant here will be 1 plus, because multiplying of 1, 1, 1. Now whatever the how many times you will call this constructor, every time the volume of the box will be 1. This is the same interface but a particular task. But you can do it using the similar interface. You can, if you want to do the another task, that means you want to assign separate value to height, width, and depth, then what you need to do? You need to call this constructor. That is the example of this line. Okay, so this is the example for method overloading, constructor overloading, and that reveals to the point of polymorphism features of Java. Clear?
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam.
Okay, fine. So this is also reveals you the concept of this keyword, why this keyword you need to use. This keyword is used to invoke the current class instance variable. So whenever this keyword will be appended with a particular data member, that means that data member relates to the instance variable, not the parameter that are passed with the constructor. Clear? This is the first usage of this keyword, and for show me the there is also, what is your problem? You have just mentioned you're not getting the point of.
Second use of this keyword.
Okay, second use of this keyword. For that purpose, I need to change this new program. Second, look, second use of this keyword means you need, if using this keyword, you can invoke the current class method. The second uses of this keyword is you can invoke the current class method using this. This is current class instance variable. Similar way, if you just declare a method within this class, you can invoke that particular method using this keyword also. Now look at this. We are changing this particular section here. We are declaring one method. Okay. And look at this. In the second line, we are creating another method, say n. And this n, what happened? There is a specific statement that is system dot out dot tailn. Here it is also inside n. Okay. Now what happened? In this n method, we are calling another method that is m. We are just declaring and defining this method m. Here inside n, we are just call this method n. What is the meaning of it? That means you are invoking a particular method inside the current class. Now, if you want to make execution of this method, what you need to do? You need to create object of box class. Okay. Here we are not passing any value. That's like we are not creating any constructor here. So if we call ob dot say n, will happen. Both the SOP statement will be executed because inside n we are also calling m. Okay, so just run this program. Look what happened. Inside m and inside n. Okay, there is no problem with that. This is the case that you are just watching in a front end. But what will actually happen in the back end? The back end is happen, this line is converted with this line. This activity, this line is similar with okay, there is no difference between this statement and this statement. Okay, So why we'll follow this this keyword here? Because internally what happened when you are writing this as a m bracket colon, that means you are just calling this method m, the compiler will change this statement as a this dot m before making it to be an executable code. That is the second uses. At present, right now, we will not be able to see that structure. Okay, that what is internally changed, what is the meaning of that? But these two things are similar. Whenever you are writing down or whenever you are just invoking a particular method inside a current class that is right now executing, and if you are calling a particular method of that class, that class method can be called with this keyword. This keyword will be automatically appended to this method. Okay, but from the front end, you will not be able to see the difference of that two. This is the second usage. Second usage is not reflected in your output section. But this is for your knowing purpose that I want to share with you that whenever you are writing down this statement, that means you are calling a particular, you are invoking a particular method inside a class. At that time, this keyword will be appended to it. Now you can you can just see that one particular thing that these two lines, the difference, there is no difference between these two lines. This particular part that I can show you. Okay, so just run this program. You will get the similar output. Actually, in Java, there are lots of activity that that internally already performed. The user don't need to bother about that part. That's why we are talking about that Java is user friendly. You don't need to bother about several internal parts. There are many more things that that automatically done by the compiler. Okay. If we get extra classes or extra time, then I will discuss with you that what is the concept of just-in-time compiler, what is the main features of JDK and JRE. We're just discussing about this portion as a basic concept. That JDK is the total development kit, and without this JDK, JRE is a particular part, that is Java runtime environment. Because within this JRE, there is a specific features that is known as a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. And this Java Virtual Machine is required for interpreting the Java code, that is bytecode. Okay, we all know that Java is written as a source code. After compilation, we are getting the bytecode, and that bytecode is interpreted by JVM, and that JVM resides in JRE. And JRE resides in JDK. So in JDK, there are lots of other parts also, lots of other activities also. So if you get that point, if you get some time to discuss about that, then that part, I think there will be more point that may be discussed with you. But for right now, this is the part. Shomita, this is the main case. That is, whenever you are invoking a particular method inside the current class, this keyword is automatically append with that method, so that it provides you the meaning that it is a current class method and you are invoking a method inside that class. Whatever be the part that you are declaring the object of that class, in another class you are accessing that is separate issue. Okay, but whenever you are invoking a particular method inside the current class, then this keyword is automatically appended to it. There is no difference between these two statements. This is the second uses of this keyword. Any query, Shomita?
No, ma'am, understood.
Okay, fine. But we are lacking with our time and just not completed the uses of static keyword. Okay, I think the concept of constructor and the uses of this keyword is clear to all of you now. Any doubt from the remaining student? If you have any doubt, then you can tell me. Okay. Okay, and one more announcement for you. There may be a MCQ test. Till now, it is not decided for which subject, but I will take this MCQ test on 2nd October. Okay. It may be from TCSIN or it may be from Google Form. And
Ma'am,
one
in the second
point,
October there is holiday.
I know 2nd October is holiday, but we have no other
But
time.
ma'am,
Yeah.
I have problem, ma'am, on 2nd October, 2nd and 3rd
Who is
October.
speaking? Shayantan Das.
Yes, ma'am.
Second, it's a
Yes,
30
ma'am.
minutes exam. It's a 30 minutes exam. Only 10
I
questions
know,
is
ma'am.
there.
I know, ma'am. But in that day, I'm very busy, ma'am. In the 2nd October, 2nd and 3rd October, it's too problem for
So
me.
I can take it for 4th October. This is, but
Okay, ma'am.
I need to have some time because all of the student of this class is not attending. I need to take some time for the remaining one. Look, for all the student, I don't want to provide them 0 marks. Since it is making mandatory that everyone needs to go through the TCS and everyone needs to submit the assignment in TCS and so that till now there are lots of students are present that are not in TCS and in for this subject.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
this is first point. Second point is if they are lacking to submit their assignment or their test at TCSIN or whatever be the mode that I have taken, then I have no option to make them provide them as a 0 marks. But I don't want to do that. For that purpose, I need to have some time. Okay, I will think about it, but just take preparation for that purpose that you maybe go through a particular test that is of 10 number of question will be there and it will be you will get 30 minutes for that to solve that particular MCQ test. Okay, and I think when I will arrange this, the 1st October and the 4th October is available for both of you, all of you. Okay, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are available in 1st and 4th. Okay, fine. Then I will inform you. Okay.
Okay,
But,
thank you, ma'am.
but this is the basic information that all of you need to go through a MCQ test. The date when is right now it is not finalized. I can take it in 1st or the 4th. Okay. And Shumon.
Yes, madam.
Okay, here. Okay, just here is. I think you have all of you have a MCQ test on operating system for today.
Madam, subject is not showing.
Subject is not showing. Okay. Okay, fine. Best of luck for if it is in operating system right now. Okay, I'll check that when I can arrange this class test. 2 minutes, take your attendance.
Okay, madam.
And Shuman, one more thing. Send me the detailed list of all the students.
Yes, madam. All the students. Okay. By today I'll send. Everything is okay.
Okay, students, if any